This week, Microsoft launched the private beta of Vine, its new social networking service, an alleged Facebook killer, if you will. In addition, Bill Gates' baby is also working on a phone for Verizon. But will these new additions to the Microsoft family be the next Windows or the next Zune? We've got the answers in The Loop. Joining me from New York to help us make sense of it all, author of Stealing MySpace and senior technology editor for the Wall Street Journal, Julia Angwin is here. Julia, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. The Wall Street Journal reported yesterday that Microsoft and Verizon Wireless are in talks to release an iPhone Challenger early next year. I mean, every phone that gets released, people call it an iPhone Challenger, but do either of these companies have anything that would make you think that they might be a force in the mobile world? I mean, Windows Mobile's been out forever. I don't know who gets all excited for that. And Verizon has a network where they seem to lock everything down. So should we be excited? Should this be on our radar?
Well, you know, Verizon actually has a great network. A lot of the complaints about the iPhone have been related to AT&T's network,
right.
And Verizon is a better network. So it would be a win for the iPhone. But as you said, Microsoft is not bringing as much to the table here. There's not a huge track record of success for them. Like you said, the Zune is not something they want to emulate.
Sure, but we slam on Windows Mobile because it's easy to do so, and I mean, yes, you can edit Excel files. That's great. That's really the only perk to having it. But the phone right now, its code name is Pink. What do we know about it? Is it actually on Windows Mobile? Is there a new OS coming out that might pique our interest?
Well, it's some kind of. It's not clear yet, but basically it's going to have Windows Mobile, but some layer on top built by the guys who built the Sidekick. So maybe it's going to have a little bit of the Sidekick software coolness, although that's also somewhat dated.
Right, but a little gloss and sheen running on a foundation of instability and clunky. That's awesome. All right, I'm sold. What else do we know?
It's also touchscreen, and it also is apparently going to have some of the innards of the Zune. And once again, make of that what you will.
Right. I can squirt phone numbers to friends that won't have this phone as well, like they don't have the Zune. Okay, I get it. Earlier in the week, though, it was widely reported that Verizon and Apple are talking with one another. They're getting excited. People are saying that they might see an iPhone on Verizon, but then the Wall Street Journal reported differently. You say that they're talking about different devices?
Yeah, it's confusing. There's been a lot of chatter about all this, and I think what's happening right now is Apple is in talks to renew its deal with AT&T, and so of course, to get a good deal there, they have to talk to everyone and play the field, basically. But I do think there's some truth to the discussions that Verizon may be having with Apple about different products. So either a smaller, cheaper version of the iPhone, and also something they are calling the iPad, which is basically a Kindle-sized touchscreen.
Is that rumored Apple netbook that everybody's been talking about for the last year but still hasn't actually been announced?
It kind of is, except for the fact that Apple trash-talked netbooks as a category on their last earnings call. So it's clearly not a netbook in their mind.
Right. It might be the same exact thing, but they'll give it a sleek name with a lowercase I in front of it, and then all of a sudden it's cool again. But all right, let's get back to Microsoft, because they have had a busy week. They announced the private beta of their new social network, Vine. I mean, I watched the demo videos of this, and I'm not all that bummed that I wasn't invited into the beta. Maybe you can convince me why I'm wrong here. What does Vine have that should make the Twitters and the Facebooks of the world get a little scared?
Well, you know, Vine is actually strangely brilliant. It does two things that are really smart. One is it takes the experience off the web so that you don't have to constantly log into your Facebook account, your Twitter account, and puts it on mobile devices and on your computer desktop. So that's a really smart move, and all these networks are going to have to do more of that in the future.
But I mean, I've got Facebook and Twitter both on my iPhone. I've got it on my desktop as well. So
right.
Is it fundamentally different though? What is Vine doing that's different than these services?
Well, I think they're making it even lighter and designed around that experience. Since I also was not able to get into the beta, I haven't been able to play around with it. But I think that the way that they're building it around that experience, sort of the way Twitter was built around text messaging, is a really smart idea for Microsoft. The other thing that's really great about it is they have recognized that not only do you want to choose who you're broadcasting to, who you get broadcast from, but you also want to choose who you're broadcasting to. So they have created a way to customize your group so that you can really have niche social networks. And why that's important is basically what I want is I want to be able to tweet out to my work colleagues like, great day at the office, and tweet out to my friends like, oh my God, my life sucks.
Right. Honestly, today was a really terrible day at the office, but don't tell that to the other people that I've said shouldn't hear that. Now, I agree,
Right.
that's a cool feature. The ability to filter is a great thing, but we'll keep our eyes on Vine, and if you get into the beta, please come on back and keep us in the loop there, Julie, all right?
Will do.